Hello everyone, welcome to today's tutorial and welcome to Bimsy Styling YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, we'll be learning how to draft a dartless curved conical corset. I'll be showing us how to couple it together, the materials that we need to achieve this conical effect, how we can put these materials together to get a well-structured conical effect on our blouse. If this is what we would like to learn, please stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. Also do well to subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and also share to friends. Now let's get started. First, we need to mark out our horizontal lines, that is the shoulder line, the chest line, the bust point, the underbust, the waistline, and the hip line. Also the vertical line, which is the armhole depth. Now, having marked out the armhole depth, the next thing we will do is to take our neck measurements. For this draft, I'll be making use of the neck width of 3.5 by 3.5. To get your neck width and depth, go ahead and divide your bust measurement by 12 inches. In this case, I'm working with bust 42, and divided by 12 will give us 3.5. And that is why I am making use of this 3.5 to get our width and our depth. And then I'm connecting both with a curved ruler. Next, we proceed to getting our shoulder slope. And for the shoulder slope, I'm coming down by half an inch and then connecting the half an inch back to the neck width with a straight ruler, like so. Once that is done, the next thing to do is to get the midpoint of our armhole depth. And this midpoint will be taken from the shoulder slope to the chest line, dividing this measurement into 2, and whatever value we get will be marked like so. And then we go in by half an inch at that midpoint and connect this half an inch with a straight ruler back to the shoulder slope, like so. Here, once we are done connecting with a straight ruler back to the shoulder slope, the next thing to do is to go to the chest line, take our bust measurement divided by 4. Here I'm working with bust 42, divided by 4 will give me 10.5 rather, and then I'll connect the 10.5 back to the mid armhole where we went in by 0.5, and with this we have shaped out our armhole curve. Once we are done with the armhole area, the next thing to do is to take our waist measurement. Remember that this is a corset, and for a corset we need to snatch the waist. For this corset, I am actually snatching the waist by 3 inches. The waist I'm working with is 37 minus 3 will give me 34. So I'll go ahead and divide my 34 by 4, which is 8.5. And that is exactly what I marked on the waistline. And then I'll connect the 8.5 inches on the waistline back to the chest line where I marked my bust measurements with a straight ruler. Having done that, I'll proceed to my hip line. At the hip line, I actually made use of my exact shoulder to hip measurement, which is 25 inches. So what I have here is 25 inches for the hip line. And on that hip line, I'll go ahead and take my hip measurement. My hip measurement is 47, divided by 4 is 11.75. And then I'll go ahead to connect the hip measurement back to the waist with a slight curve, not too curvy. Now that we are done with our hip, we'll go ahead to draft our cup. So at the bust point, we go up by 1 inch. This is to help us have a guide for our bust bridge. We'll go up by 1 inch and then also mark 1 inch beneath the bust point. So take note of these 2 points. At the 1 inch above the bust point, we also take half an inch. We'll come out by half an inch, and then also at the under bust, we will also take half an inch measurement. Then we'll connect both points, both half an inch above the bust point and also half an inch on the under bust. We connect both with a straight ruler. The essence of doing this is to create the bust bridge for our cup. Now that the bust bridge has been achieved, I'll label the first part 1, and then the bust point 2, and then the 1 inch below the bust point 3. Now the next thing to do is to get our bra cup. Here, go ahead and fold the bra cup into 2, and then on the center part, the folded part, go in by 1/2 inch, and then go up by 2.5 inches or 3 inches. Mark those points like so. This is just to help us dart the bra cup. The reason for darting the cup is so that the cup won't be flat, because using the cup directly like this will make that part, it will make the cup area flat. So darting it will give it more volume. You have extra volume. So now I've gone ahead to dart my cup, and this is what we have on the screen. So the darted bra cup now will be used to shape out our cup area for the corset. Now please note that your base for the bra cup must match with the under bust, like so. Your base for the bra cup must match with the under bust. Then for the parts we labeled 1, 2, 3, this is just to serve as a guide depending on how revealing you want your corset to come out. Now for some persons, they might want it so revealing, you can decide to use the number 3, but for this I want a moderate corset, I want a moderate cup, so I'm making use of number 1. Feel free to use number 2 or number 3 depending on how revealing you want it or your client wants it. So once it's that, just place your cup slightly slanted, and then ensure that the base of your cup actually matches with the under bust. Then go ahead to trace out your cup from the bridge, that's the bust bridge you marked initially. That's starting from number 1, cutting across the under bust, and then taking it to the side of the blouse like so. Once I'm done marking it, and I'll also go to the top of the cup and also trace out the top of the bra cup on the pattern paper like so. Once I'm done tracing this, I go ahead to remove my cup. Now to achieve the conical side of the corset blouse. Like I said earlier, my shoulder to hip line was used as the blouse length, which is 25 inches. So to get the conical shape, go ahead and mark out the desired shape of your choice. Now this depends on the design you are working with or that you are trying to create. You could have a more curvy effect than what I have drawn. For this blouse, I don't want it too curvy, and that's why I have not really taken it so wide. You could go ahead and have a wider conical effect. So once you have your desired shape, go ahead and mark it out in the manner that you want. And once that is done, you have your conical side shaped out. So this is exactly what I'm doing here. Then the next thing is to determine the design you want for the hem of your corset blouse. The hem depends also on you or the style you are working with. So for me, this is the exact shape that I want, and so I've placed my curved ruler in the desired shape that I want. So your creativity matters also as well. What you're trying to create, what you're trying to achieve, the design you are working with, everything put in place will determine the conical shape and the hem line of the conical blouse. So this is exactly what I have done, and I have blended I went ahead to blend the side of the conical shape to the hem of the blouse, just exactly the way you have seen it on the video. So the next thing is to draft our back pattern for the conical corset. Now I'm going to place my pattern on fold. That is exactly how we would achieve the back pattern. The reason for doing this is because so we can have the same shape for the back and for the front. Because if we decide to draft our back pattern on its own, there might be a little difference between the conical side of the back and the front. But to have a perfect shape, to have a perfect design, to have the same exact design for the front and back, that's why this is on fold. Also remember that this is a dartless corset, so it's easier for us to transfer the front and the back pattern because there's no dart in the front. Assuming we were working or trying to create a cupped corset with a dart in front, it will be quite difficult to transfer the front pattern to the back. So I hope we understand this. And so I go ahead and use my tracing wheel to trace the sides of my corset, the hemline, the armhole, the shoulder line, the neck width, the waistline, and the chest line. These are the parts that I'll trace out. The only part that will be left out here is the bust bridge and also the cup area of the corset. Those are the parts that will be left out. So I'm done tracing, and I'm sure you guys can't see what I have there, but I would actually go ahead and use my rulers, my curved rulers, to trace out exactly what I have transferred from the front to the plain paper at the back. Now we are almost done with the tracing, and once the armhole is marked out, the next thing to do is to alter the back pattern. Now at the neck, I'll come down by 1 inch and then connect the 1 inch back to my neck width. Remember that the neck width for the front was 3.5, same as the back, because we transferred the pattern from the front. So I'm connecting my neck width to my neck depth like so. Next thing I will do now is to go to the side of my pattern, that's the side back at the armhole area. I'm going to come down by 1/2 inch from the armhole at the side back, and then at the center back on the chest line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch and connect the 1 inch to the 1/2 inch on the side like so. For this particular part of the design, you can actually use a slight curve to do this shaping, but for me, I just want it straight. So at the center back on the new line, I'll go in by 1.5, and at the M line, that's on the hip line, I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch and then connect the 1/2 inch to the 1.5 at the top. This is just to create the back opening. For people who don't want the back opening for the lacing back, you can go ahead and leave your center back like so. Your back would be closed, so that you will not need the modesty panel for the opening. So for this, I've marked that part to show you that that part will be cut off, and then from that 1.5, I'm marking 2 inches. These 2 inches will serve as our eyelet stand. It will serve as our eyelet stand. For this particular conical corset design, I actually did not cut out this part. The reason is because my eyelet was added to the bodies at the center back. But for the purpose of designers that might want to have a different fabric used for the stand, you can go ahead to cut out these 2 inches and then use an entirely different fabric as a contrast to the main fabric that was used for the body of the corset. So Once this is done, the next thing I want to do is to give my back yoke a nice shape. And the shape actually creating, I'll come down from the back depth by 2 inches and then connect it with a curve to the part that was marked for the eyelet stand. So I'll connect it that way, and then my back yoke now has a new shape. Then for my back yoke to properly lay at the back, I need to do a little tightening. So what you see me doing here is just to mark out this part to show you that that part will also be cut out and won't be useful when we are transferring to fabric. So for this part, to avoid gaping, I would do a little dart of 0.5 inches at that point. I'll mark 0.5 inch and then connect it back to the side. So this will help me tighten the back yoke such that the yoke will lay properly at the back. Once that is done, I'll also mark that part to show you that that part will be cut out from our pattern, so it's no longer useful. And so with this, we have been able to create our back pattern for our conical corset. Remember that it is a dartless conical corset, so there is no dart at all. So this is my back yoke. I've gone ahead to label the back yoke, and then our back pattern is ready. So we have our back and the front side by side. So the next thing I want to do is remember that on the side of the back, yes, at the side back around the armhole area, we came down by 0.5. So I would also do the same on the side front, so that the side front and the side back can match up at that part. I came down by 0.5, and then I'm going to blend in that 0.5 using a curved ruler to back to the cup. So I'm going to blend it like so using a curved ruler. You can actually use your hand to blend in, but just for a smooth transition, so I made use of the curve. And so with this, we have been able to create our dartless conical cupped corset for the back and for the front. Now we are done with drafting the front and the back pattern, and the next thing is to cut out and transfer to fabric